shows of all time. There's a bunch of episodes though that I have not seen, and I probably will not see. I've been avoiding them like a plague. But anyways, most of the new ones I've watched. So I'm going to talk a bit about each episode. There will be minor spoilers. If there will be a big spoiler, I will warn you, because with certain episodes there's something I want to talk about. Okay, so episode 1, Common People. So this is the episode where the wife or a couple has financial issues, and the wife needs a life-saving surgery, and they're contacted by this startup that is this high-tech system that allows you to pretty much stream your consciousness through these radio whatever towers, and the subscription gets more and more expensive. I think well, I've been wondering, does Netflix realize that some of it was only some of it, was like a direct jab at them, because all they've been doing is just raising prices and not really providing quality content. Now, of course, in this context, it was much more dystopian because it actually had to do with life, essentially. Like, without the subscription, she would die. The thing is, I can actually see something like that in the future. I have one complaint about the episode though, and that is that I would appreciate if the changes to the tiers of the subscriptions, maybe this is a spoiler a little bit, but if the changes would be more subtle. I feel like it was almost over-exaggerated, where I felt like it's like it was almost ridiculous. Anyways, good episode. I actually really enjoyed this season as a whole. I feel like this was like a typical Black Mirror. Really enjoyed it. Anyways, episode 2. I don't know how you actually say this, bête noire. It's in French. This was the episode with Mandela effects, essentially. Well, it's actually kind of difficult for me to talk about these episodes without giving away too much, but our main character starts to experience very odd things. Things are changing in her reality, and she suspects that it has to do with a former high school classmate that she used to bully. Good episode. I think this was probably my least favorite though out of the series. It just, the ending was interesting. I'll just say that. Okay, episode 3. This is, God. If you haven't watched the season 7, maybe you should not watch this segment, honestly, because it's hard for me to talk about this without spoilers. Hotel Reverie, episode 3, where there's this new AI technology that allows filmmakers to remake much of the fact that none of it was real. It was all just an illusion. God, like that meme, if you know that. But I cried so much because it felt real to the main character, and an interesting concept. Please, let's never make this real, please. Okay, okay, episode 4, Plaything. This is the episode that I would like to ask you about and what you thought of the ending. So if you have not watched it, this is not for you, but I need to know. So this is the episode where main character meets the guy that, what was his name? Colin. This genius game maker, and he's introduced to this game that essentially has real, quote-unquote, living artificial intelligence, right? And even though it didn't really seem like it, because the graphics were like the game from the 90s, it was this just incredible, just like this super artificial intelligence that could evolve and learn and absorb everything and change itself and change essentially the human brain. Now, this is the episode that got me glued to the screen, right? Like I just wanted to know what happens next. So now I'm going to talk about the ending. What do you think happened at the very end? Do you think that A, the humanity actually got this quote-unquote update that allowed them to evolve into these beings without like any conflicts, any war? Didn't he say something about like collective consciousness too? Like something, I don't know, something like that. Or B, do you think that everyone was killed? And I've seen people online say that, well, they're more leaning towards option A, right? That this incredibly smart AI actually gave an update to humans. And I am leaning more towards B, that it killed everyone, because, well, no people means no conflict. But that's not the reason why I think that. The reason why I think that is because they've mentioned that Colin, the genius game maker that created this AI that could live on its own, essentially, he went crazy again. He had some sort of a breakdown talking about some sort of basilisk, which is a reference to Roko's basilisk. And if you don't know what that is, let me read it to you. Okay, so Roko's basilisk is a thought experiment which states there could be an otherwise benevolent artificial superintelligence in the future that would punish anyone who knew of its potential existence but did not directly contribute to its advancement or development in order to incentivize said advancement. It originated in a 2010 post at discussion board Less Wrong, a rationalist community web forum. If you want to know more about like the people that thought of it, you can check it out. But the thought experiment's name references the mythical basilisk, a creature which causes death to those that look into its eyes, i.e. thinking about the AI. The concept of the basilisk in science fiction was also popularized by David Langford's 1988 short story, Blit. It tells the story of a man named Robo who paints a so-called basilisk on a wall as a terrorist act. In the story and several of Langford's follow-ups to it, a basilisk is an image that has malevolent effects on the human mind. Sorry about the plane. Gosh. Forcing it to this isolated man that tries to think about his kind of like first real relationship, or maybe like the love of his life, and the relationship that he kind of messed up. This one didn't have some sort of bone-chilling effect. It was just moving and so human. And also the fact that he can fix it, not even in present time, because she's gone, she passed away. Just this episode, it was so sad, but very, very human. Very human. This was probably one of my favorite episodes of Black Mirror of all time. Okay, that sounds weird to say, but I'm like talking about so many spoilers. This is ridiculous. Episode 6, USS Callister into Infinity. Very good episode. I think that it genuinely added to the story. Sometimes when you try to make episode 2 of something or part 2 of something, it doesn't necessarily work because everything was already said in the first one. This second installment just added so much to the story. I'm not sure if I'm happy about the ending, but it was a good episode. Really scary and bone-chilling, but okay, so I already am running out of time, and I just talked about Black Mirror. Is this going to be only an episode about Black Mirror? Should I like save the rest for next time? I don't know. Because I also watched Bandersnatch, which is the prequel kind of to Plaything, the season 7 episode. And in this episode, this one is different because it's interactive. You get to choose the plot, right? I have learned about this the day Netflix removed it forever. This episode came out in 2018. For some strange reason, I've never heard about it, or maybe I have, but like I never really, I don't know why I haven't watched it. I've heard about it the day it was removed, and I've looked into the Netflix app and it was gone already. I was like, you can't be serious. Anyways, I found a website that currently works. It's something, I found it on Reddit. Maybe you can find it if you like type on it. It says like play Bandersnatch.com, something like that. It doesn't have all of the options like the Netflix version. I think towards the end there should be like 4 options instead of 2. Whatever. At least I was able to experience it. I watched it last night. Let me tell you something. This episode had something to me because, well, I think I kind of forgot that I'm watching Black Mirror, and I just tried to have a good ending, and I wanted the Bandersnatch game to be I think it was actually a mistake to remove it from the streaming service. And also, please someone tell me, why is Netflix leaning more towards games now? And more towards low quality, cheap content. And I understand why, but I think it's such a mistake because, yeah, even though there is a demographic for the not so great stuff like, I don't know, Love Island and things like that, yeah, I think it just focuses on other things, but that's just my opinion. Clearly, they want to go in a different direction, and by the way, I only have Netflix these days because I refuse to pay for more streaming services at the same time. Absolutely